Ladies and gentlemen, this is of course LITE Crypto here, and today finally I'm going to be reviewing the Pulse One Depin device, which we have talked about in numerous occasions on the channel in the past. Now I finally got my own copy and I've been testing it for a couple of days, and now I'm going to be basically giving you my own based honest take on this device. So the Pulse One is basically a wristband that is tracking your health data. So very similar to something we reviewed on the past on the channel, which is the Kudis ring. So this one is tracking how many steps you're taking per day. It's measuring your heart rate. It's also something you can wear during your sleep. So it will give you some sleeping data as well. So general health information that is basically collecting. And eventually there's also going to be a token release. Now, it has been stated on their profile that this is being built under Monad, and there's also some connections to Solana as well. So it's kind of unclear, will their token actually launch on both Monad and Solana? I know that one of the Monad founders actually invested on this project. So there's some big names behind it, and I think they have raised some millions already for this project. And they have their, the pre-orders already came for this device like last year, or may have been even back in late 23. I can't remember exactly top of my head. And it seems that there is going to be also another version or more upgraded version of the wristband coming out in the future. So let's kind of go in throughout a bit of the specs of the actual device. So we already kind of went through talking about tracking your sleep, your activity, your vitals, your habits, and also like calories burned. So a lot of information that is very important actually. So I'm a bit of a health maximalist. I am very keen on eating healthily. I don't obviously do any forms of drugs or alcohol. So I'm kind of like a straight edge and have been my whole life. So I'm a bit of a health maximalist. So these types of devices are pretty important for people who are health maxis. And it's a pretty good alternative given to the fact that, yes, it's going to be giving you token rewards at some point and potential airdrops, which we are going to be mentioning later down on this video. And there's obviously a couple of different versions available, and that's probably we should probably address first, including some of the specs. So this is 28 grams, so it's pretty lightweight. And I'm going to be giving you it very straightforward here. This is a lot more comfortable to wear compared to the Kudis ring. I did not like wearing the Kudis ring. It was actually uncomfortable on my finger, so I really ended up not using that at all. I think the Kudis ring is also maybe something that might break much faster. You might lose it much more easier. So this one is a lot more better in terms of comfortability. I usually have this a lot of like, it's not leather, but it is a strap around my finger, around my arm, wrist, sorry. And that's actually very comfortable. So it's not metal, it's not silicone. Silicone probably would have been pretty good, but silicone kind of accumulates a lot of dirt, and so does metals a lot. So if you wear like a wedding ring or something, a lot of bacteria is actually accumulating under that ring. So there's some hygiene things that some people might be icked out. This is also water resistance. I don't know what these IP68 and IP69 actually mean. So I think it will not be affected by the rain. And also it has a 24 mm bandwidth. It has sensors on it. I don't know much about these sensors in terms of technology. And yes, here is the material. So it's stainless steel and aluminum and hyperweave and ABS. So I think hyperweave is the actual strap, and ABS, I have no idea what that is. And then there's the battery. According to some of the testimonials, one charging will make it last for a week, which is pretty good. So that's a lot of time, a lot of data. So we don't have to charge it all the time like a modern phone or something. So that's good. And it will require Bluetooth. So you are obviously going to be wearing it with your phone. And the compatibility is going to be on iOS and Android. And here's a bit of a chart kind of like comparing these things. So obviously there's no subscription. It's built for longevity. There's a personalization, and it doesn't really talk about like where is the data coming from. I'm assuming that a lot of this health data is encrypted, and some of the data is basically being sold by the Pulse company, which is going to be sold in tokens. So I presume that the tokenomics revolve around selling that data forward, and you're going to be getting paid. Now, also, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, the BTCC Exchange. And they have a couple of interesting promotions going on as of right now. The first one being there is an actual futures trading challenge known as the Token 2049 Trading Challenge. And they are giving out $20,000 in USDT in terms of prize pool. You also have the ability to win iPhone 17 Pro Max and also a Token 2049 exclusive badge. I'm presuming that's some type of NFT, which might have some type of interesting benefits also included. And right now, you can basically join into the exchange using the link down below in the description. There's also some, new user registration bonuses in case you don't already have an account. Also, for those people who are looking for some type of working, they are currently hiring some testers for the BTCC applications. And it doesn't maybe pay you millions, but you're going to get 10 USDT daily for no more than 1 hour of testing certain applications, and also having a chance to get more bonuses along with that. This is currently available in Germany, Spain, Portugal, Sweden, Netherlands, France, or Japan. And you also need to have good English language skills. And you're going to be trading on Android and iOS devices. So in case you're interested, also check out this promotion as well. Paid. Now let's talk about the actual numbers over here. So there are two versions. There is the Genesis Edition, and then there is the Founders Edition. I believe that the Genesis Edition is basically partially made out of metal, so it's going to be a harder material. I obviously have the Genesis Edition. It is currently at $249. And I have to say, now that you're seeing the actual unboxing of this thing, the Genesis Edition is pretty good. I remember actually paying a lot less for this, so I think the pre-orders were below $200. That is way I remember right now that I ended up paying for it. Maybe there might have been some type of discount included at some point as well. And if you're going to be subscribing into their email, they might actually give you also some type of discount code. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember, but I kind of remember that I did get some type of email like that. Now, in terms of what comes obviously in the package, there's going to be these sort of the assembly of it is actually pretty simple. You put these hooks in the device, and then you basically combine the straps with it. And then there is this detachable part, which is the actual battery. Now, the battery is detached into the other plastic part with magnets. And the first point of criticism here is that the magnets kind of suck. So it kind of falls off if you are not actually having the wristband really, really tight. And obviously, when you're sleeping, you don't necessarily want it to be super tight because that's going to be, if you're very sensitive, that's going to be affecting your sleep. So I don't like that part. If they're ever going to be doing another model, the magnet has to be lockable in by some type of a mechanism. I don't know how they would exactly do that, but this is not firm enough. Obviously, it will not fall off by itself, but any type of small movement will make it detach and drop from your arm very easily. So that's not a great part of the design, especially for the people who don't want it to have the wrist being so tight. So that's something I don't like about this project. But other than that, the usability and the overall fashion appeal and everything like that is pretty good. Yeah, take it what you will. If you like to keep these things very wrapped up, well, then you're in luck and it will not fall off as easily as it is if it is actually loose. But I do like the aspect that you can adjust it all the time. So maybe when you go into sleep, you're going to be loosening it up a bit more, and it's kind of more unlikely that it will be falling off. The Founder Edition does come along with two different colors, apparently. So there's a metal and then there's a white one. And I remember there being more colors available. So we do have the chrome black one. And that's basically what I have. Here on this image, though, it does look a lot more darker than it is. And actually, the Genesis Edition is actually a bit more grayer. So it's a bit more light gray than contrasted into this image. In this image specifically, it does look a lot more darker. So take it what you will, but I mean, most of the people are probably going to be going for black or white, and it's going to be those are universal colors, and they're going to be gelling well with the rest of your clothing, sports clothing that you have. Now, then let's talk about a bit of the app itself. So the in-app application, this is obviously in the Android. This is the home screen. And on the top, you see your HP number. And this is basically your daily points. You can earn up to 100 points per day. And this basically means that you have to wear it for a considerable amount of time. It says that wear your band at least for 20 hours a day, including overnight, to earn 100 HP daily. So that's the maximum for a day, I presume. But let's say I'm using it only for 5 hours a day. Am I getting points? And by the looks of it, I am still getting points by not wearing it for 20 hours. So that's not the best model I actually prefer for this type of data collecting, but I understand why they would go for that. But I mean, honestly, I would not mind it wearing it like a whole day, but idea of like wearing it also at the night is something of a turn off for me because I'm really like sensitive about my sleep and I want to really maximize my comfortability when I'm sleeping. There is a referral system and you can get 1000 HP for each successful referral. I know that some of you did actually buy the device under my link down, when I've showed it many times in the channel in the past. So thank you for doing that. And most of you probably who ordered back in 24 or back in 25 might have already received their device on the mail. So, and then obviously in this app, you can see the sleep score, the vitals, the activity. The activity is pretty nice. So it's showing you the whole day. I've used, Stepins and other health applications in crypto before. They're not maybe giving you this much data. It's nice to see the calories, which are like kind of like give you the idea of the burning here, but it's maybe not the most. And you can also add activities here in terms of like, hey, I was spinning, I was doing volleyball, I was doing weightlifting, workout, blah, blah, blah. So it can be a good health measuring application. I have not used like Web 2 versions, so I don't know how capable they are and how complex they are in terms of their offerings. Then there is obviously the experiments tab. Here you can do like caffeine, some stuff, features that are coming out in the future. Those are kind of interesting. And then on the settings tab, you can basically find your profile and emails and stuff like that. Now, let's kind of summarize this whole investment here and the potential money angle, obviously. So if you look at like the Kudis airdrop, it turned out to be pretty valuable, at least for short term. And so basically it didn't necessarily, well, for me at least, it did kind of pay itself off because I did some promotions, but fundamentally, like, yeah, this device can pay itself off with the actual initial Pulse token release. Are they going to be doing an airdrop at first, or is it going to be gradual earning? That remains to be seen. Also, the other angle, which I really decided to lock in and buy one of these devices, was because it was connected to Monad. And there's obviously speculation that the people who bought this wristband are going to be getting actual Monad allegation, like RFP rewards or something like that. And obviously, I've been saying many times on the channel that I'm very bullish on Monad. So I think that could be a very valuable airdrop. So if this is part of the criteria and you're going to be getting both the Monad airdrop and then you're going to be getting the actual Pulse token, it's most likely going to be paid itself off. Now, in terms of the price point, it is pretty high. There's obviously other options like what we have talked about, the Seeker phone. Then there is the Sui Play, which is getting another model. Haven't still received mine, by the way, on the mail. So I guess review is going to be delayed to a later date. But yes, I think there are some other devices that you could buy over Pulse. And Pulse's price point of $250 is kind of steep in terms of like contrasted to some of the cheaper Depin devices that you can currently acquire. There's a couple of sales actually going on at Helium Deploy. You can use my code at the screen to get a discount on some of those promotions currently ongoing. So when it comes to really these Depin devices, they are risky investments. But if you are a health maximalist and you want the data and you were planning to buy some type of wristband anyways, well, I wouldn't see any problem buying this one if you're going to be having use for it anyways. So I think at that point, it becomes less of a risky investment. But I do want to say, in terms of like the material and everything, $250 does seem kind of like a premium price. Obviously, I did get it on a more affordable note. So I understand that people would be hesitant to buy that much. But then again, Monad could skyrocket, the Pulse token could skyrocket, so it could easily pay itself off if it's managed to accumulate some airdrops down the line. But that basically wraps up my review about the Pulse Series 1, an emphasis on Series 1, meaning that there will be Series 2. So in some senses, it might be also smart to perhaps wait for the Series 2 device, but then again, you might miss out on some very legitimate rewards. So it depends on, will you be interested in having another device which might be more improved over the first one, or are you interested like making your money back from the device? Then it might be smart to basically ape into the Series 1. In case you have already received your own version of the Series 1, I obviously love to hear what you have to say about it on the comment section down below. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next review whenever that will be coming out.